Hello everyone. I don't think I've ever talked about this. One day I desire to own my own cafe, right? Where I would sell the most delicious pastries and actual good coffee, offering just good vibes and hopefully a good place for people to study, to get straight A's. Yes, my studious. While I was thinking about that, I started to think, oh my gosh, I should do videos making things I want in my cafe someday. Cute video, right? Okay, cool. Now that you're all so very excited for this series, let us start. I'm gonna show you guys and also learn how to make delicious pastries and drinks that will probably maybe be in my cafe, a part of my cafe. But yeah, so today's video, we're gonna be making bagels. I'm gonna be teaching you guys, kind of. I hate calling myself a teacher, having a tutorial, because I'm we're all, no matter how much knowledge one has, we're always just learning. Everyone will always be learning, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, let's start. Okay, so you can't make a bagel or anything without the ingredients. Woo! Preach for the ingredients that you're gonna need to make a lovely bagel. You're gonna need flour, salt, instant yeast, warm water, sugar, baking soda, honey, and egg. For the full description and also recipe for this, it will be in the description. For the full recipe and description, instructions on how to make bagels, it will be in the description box below. Okay, I didn't even realize bagels were this easy to make, but here we are. So first, you're gonna put your warm water into a bowl along with your yeast and your sugar. Again, measurements, everything, description box, or maybe I'll have them on the screen. I haven't decided yet, I don't know. Then you're gonna give her a nice little stir, a nice little whisk. It's gonna look like mud water, but I promise you it will, it will come out to be something great in about 5 to 10 minutes. So once you give her a little stir, then you're gonna put just cover her up or just place her to the side for a good 5 to 10 minutes, letting her marinate. So while that is becoming alive, we're gonna get our flour ready. Well, honestly, the flour is already ready, but only thing that you have to do is put your flour in a mixer, or if you're using a bowl, with a hand mixer, whatever you have, use that. So I put it in the mixer, and I also put salt in my flour. Okay, so I think it's been about 5 minutes at this time. Look at her, isn't she a beaut? She looks like a little little cake, a little pooch, a little I've never seen my yeast water rise that much, so I obviously did a good job with letting her sit and rest. So the only thing you have to do then or now is add your mud/dough water to the flour and allow it to start mixing. You guys, can we talk about the fact that I just started using the dough hook whenever I'm making dough? I make bread a lot, I make pastries a lot, and I just started using the dough hook. Do you know how not good that is? As a professional baker, as a baby baker, I wasn't even using the main tool necessary in order to have smooth dough. My dough would always come out kind of lumpy and just not properly mixed, and I'll be like, what did I do wrong? I didn't use the dough hook. When you first put in your dough mud water mixture, it will look like it won't mix well, because it's a little hook, and you're probably gonna be like, why is this not working? Don't fret, my little butter cake, it will mix. Just give her some time. I am learning that when it comes to baking and also just cooking in general, patience is the best thing to have, because if you're not patient, you're gonna want to rush everything, hence your pastries coming out really dry and not good. So patience, everyone say it with me. Patience, okay? Patience. I tell you as I wasn't patient. Okay, so as your dough is starting to come about. You are going to notice that the edges will be stuck around the bowl. So just get a little spatula and kind of like, you know, scooch the flour like towards the middle so that it can mix evenly. Give a little scooch. After the dough has finally become dough, we're gonna place it on a mat. I can't remember what this mat is called. As you can tell, I'm professional. But you place it on a mat. You first put some flour on there so that the dough doesn't stick, and then you're gonna just throw your little dough ball on the mat and then pour. I normally pour more flour on top because my dough is just always really sticky, but as you can see, I poured too much flour. So maybe don't do that when you make it. It's fine, it's totally fine. And now we are going to knead our dough. Listen, I know this is a tutorial, but kneading is hard, and I've watched so many videos on how to properly knead dough, but alas, my skills are still very, how you say, questionable. Please, my seasoned bakers, the seasoned girlies, do not drag me for my kneading skills. It's really hard. I don't know how to knead. Like I really don't. I cut the dough in about, I think, 6 to 8 pieces, and then I started to put them in like little balls into like little balls. Pause. So making little dough balls is actually so incredibly hard. Like forming the dough inside little balls is so hard. Harder than it needs to be. Harder than I would like to honestly even admit, because I feel as though this is a very easy thing, but for whatever reason I can't do it, and the little balls are always so lumpy, like little mountains. So excuse my amazing attempt at making smooth little perfect dough balls. If you have any tips, I beg of you to please drop them down below and help your me out. So now that we have our little dough mountains, you're actually okay. So this is like where I kind of do back and forth sometimes. The first recipe that I saw, they said that once you just have your dough, you actually let your dough sit for about an hour so that it can, like, you know, poof up, right? But then on another recipe, I saw that as soon as they made their dough, they cut them into their pieces and they rolled them and they put them on a pan, and then they let it sit for an hour. So I think this time when I made it, I rolled the balls I rolled the little dough balls up first, placed them on a pan sheet, covered it with saran wrap, and I let it sit for an hour, and then I came back to finish it, to continue on. Okay, so pick your poison, do whatever you want to do. Okay, so now let's get our bagels bath ready. Our bagel have to take a bath, guys. So for your bagel bath, you're gonna add it says about like 6 to 8 cups of water, but I just filled up a pot with water, and then you're going to add, I believe, 1 tablespoon, I think it's 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1 tablespoon of honey, and then let that simmer. Let her boil up. Okay, so while we wait for our bagel bath, we're gonna actually form our little bagels. So you can get your little dough balls and then you're gonna just either use your thumb or your finger, smush it in the middle as such, and then put your thumb through the little hole and then do this. I don't know how to like explain this. Like, you have your hole in the thumb. I mean, what? You have your thumb in the hole, right? So then you kind of just like stretch it and roll. Stretch it and roll. We got that? This is my bagel. I put the hole in there and then I just rotate it, and I'm kind of stretching it or pulling it as I'm rotating it. 이렇게. 이렇게. 이렇게 해야 돼요. I know. Looking at our dough, she's a little lumpy, but don't you fret. After we boil them and also bake them, they're gonna they're gonna puff up, okay? So don't judge my little lumpy bagels now. Thank you. So once your bagels bath is ready, then you're gonna just get your cutely formed bagels, dough bagel balls thingies. Then you're going to just place them in the water. You put as many as your pot can handle, and you're gonna allow each side to boil for 1 minute. 1 minute only, okay? I don't know why it's 1 minute only, but the recipe said 1 minute only. Actually, that's a lie. Again, certain recipes are just different, and then I saw another recipe that said let it allow them to boil 2 minutes on each side. So do as you please. So as you're gonna do all your bagels, as you can see, they're piping hot, and they actually do get bigger after you boil them, or while you're boiling them. The bagels do expand. So if you feel as though like your bagels look small, like when they're just like in the regular dough form, don't you fret, my little cupcake. They're gonna get bigger, okay? Which is so cute. So after you boil them, you're gonna place them on your pan, sheet thing. I lined mine with parchment paper, and then I sprayed a little bit of non-stick spray on top, just so that the bagels don't stick. Yeah, so the bagels won't stick. And once I have all my bagels done, then I'm going to apply the egg wash. I believe in this. When I make these bagels, I applied a lot because I just had so much like egg wash left, and I wanted to use it all. But for the egg wash, you're going to just need 1 egg and then a little bit of water. Mix that up, and then you're going to get a little brush, a cooking brush, I don't know what they're called, and you're going to paint all the bagels with the egg wash, okay? So then you're gonna bake your bagels for 20 to 25 minutes at 425 degrees. I only do 20 minutes. I always like to do like a less time first, just so that I can kind of gauge to how my pastry or bagel is. After the 20 minutes, because I do check it with like I do check it like with the toothpick. If I check it and it's still doughy inside, then I'll leave it in for maybe like a minute or two. But yeah, so if you are starting to bake, I always would say do like the least amount of time first, opposed to doing like the most amount of time, like 25 minutes, because you don't want your bagels or pastries to burn. So yeah, like when we get cookies at home, the package will be like, oh, bake for like 12 minutes or 15 minutes. We'll bake them for like 10 minutes just to see like how they are, and normally it's like actually perfect and it's how we want them or we like them. So always bake the least amount first, and then check on your pastry, and then proceed however you want to, I guess. Okay, and then 20 minutes later, the bagels are done. I did not realize just how easy it is to make bagels and how inexpensive it is. I've been learning so much about like baking and like making things from scratch, and I am loving it so much. We all know you're only, I have a million hobbies, but baking has been such a surprise hobby that I've been having so much fun with. But yes, anyway, the bagels are done. Obviously, when you go to a cafe, you expect them to have a bagel of some sort, and in my cafe I would most definitely add this different types of bagels. I recently made another batch, and I did like a cinnamon crumble type of bagel, which was actually really good. My family really liked it. So yes, this pastry, this treat, are bagels pastry? I don't know, but this bagel this pastry will most definitely be on my menu for my cafe, and I hope I have taught you guys how to make a bagel so that you can surprise your family with fresh bagels every morning, every week. Be like, oh my gosh, mom, dad, look what I just made. Here you go. Have a bagel. Here's your cream cheese. I hope you like this video. This video was so much fun. I thank you guys so much for being here, for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye.